Eerie after it's all
Oh,
burned.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
I hate it. I mean, it's unbelievable. It just wipes out the whole town. The smoke from all those, yeah, we've still seen some hazy skies yesterday. That is from the fires out west and to our north. And we'll likely see a little bit of a haze today, but really our weather is going to be, once again, pretty quiet. Not a big deal this afternoon, about 92 for the high, so still pretty warm. But if you were outside yesterday, it was a nice dry heat. People get mad when I talk about dry heat. Let me tell you, dry heat and humid heat are very different, and you're going to notice it probably today. It's not going to be terribly humid. It is still going to be hot, you know, there's no doubt about it, but with the humidity lower, your body sweats, it evaporates, and it cools down like it's supposed to. So overall, another not bad day. 10% chance of rainfall today means we're probably going to see a pop-up shower or two, but overall, it's not going to be a wet day. Current temperatures this morning, once again, really nice out there. Not as nice as yesterday or cool as yesterday, but still nice. 68 in Hammond, 70 in Slidell, 76 to Lakefront. We got 70 in Thibodaux, 70 Gonzales. Look at Reserve at 69. Look at the airport, Kenner in the low 70s. So overall, this morning is a little bit cooler than yesterday here in the New Orleans metro. Like I mentioned, it's still going to be hot today. We'll get into the low 90s, and we're going to stay in the 90s. Even getting hotter next week. We'll be in the mid 90s, and then we got to throw in the humidity there with it, so that means it's going to feel much hotter. So what's the humidity going to do today? This morning, it's still relatively low for August standards. It's going to stay relatively low through this afternoon. Now, by this evening, the humidity will start to creep in. There it is. Notice by tonight and tomorrow, we will be back to our normal humid weather, especially south of the lake. Anywhere you see those reds, that's where it's going to be. That oppressive dew points in the mid 70s, upper 70s, and we'll have heat index values well into the triple digits for the foreseeable future. So today, the heat index value is not going to be a huge factor. Tomorrow, you'll start to notice the heat and humidity more, and then, yeah, just your normal August weather all the way through next week. Chance of rain will be going up through the weekend. Not much today or tomorrow, maybe a few storms Saturday, but I think we have a better chance for rain Sunday and Monday, and then we'll hold a daily chance for showers and storms all the way through next week. The tropics are still quiet locally. The Caribbean and the Gulf looking good. Nothing to worry about through the weekend. We still have our couple tropical waves, though, deep in the Atlantic. This one's still not looking good. I don't think it's really going to do anything. The National Hurricane Center doesn't either. It's going to be heading up here this weekend and early next week, and only giving it a 20% chance that it tries to organize. So we'll watch it, but right now that thing is not going to be an issue in the near term for anyone. This one, however, this one's much more impressive, much bigger, and notice the chance much higher that this becomes a tropical cyclone. A cyclone meaning either a depression, storm, or hurricane. Those are all considered cyclones. And more than likely what this will do is try to spin up as we head into the weekend somewhere in this area as it heads towards the west. And it will likely become a depression, maybe a storm. If it does get that name, it would be named Fred. Now beyond that, there's a long time between there and even the Caribbean, so we got a long time to track it. This one's going to run into this dry air. That's why it's not really going to do anything. This one's going to have a bit more moisture to work with, and in the near term, there's going to be some dry air somewhere. So that's why really not a good idea to really speculate what it's going to do beyond the next probably 5 to 7 days. But we'll watch it long term. So it's just a reminder, anything out here is still probably 8 to 14 days away from ever being close to the United States. That's a long time in the weather world, so anything out here, we're still in the green. Once things start to get closer to the Caribbean, maybe 4 to 7 days away from being an issue for the U.S. And then, of course, in the Gulf, it's either hours or a couple of days away from being an issue for the U.S. So we got a long time to track those tropical waves. Hopefully they never get close here or develop into anything, but you do have to watch them. Just because they're not doing much out there doesn't mean they can't try to organize once they get closer to the United States. And we are headed into the peak of hurricane season, so you got to keep an eye on them. Our forecast, mostly dry today, but still pretty hot. Tomorrow, the humidity returns. The humidity's around through the weekend with a few storms, and same-o going into next week.